Welcome back to Denoise. Some more Sora updates. Taylor Swift, maybe using AI in her promo stuff.
We got more updates on that mysterious Jony Ive OpenAI device.
Let's get into it. All right, what's up, Addy? Good to see you again.
Good to see you virtually, my friend.
Virtually in the lacking metaverse, in the
You
Riverside
still in,
metaverse.
Borrego Springs?
Not in Borrego Springs. I don't know if in the last episode I was in the desert for like one day and my lips got so destroyed. They finally look normal again, but they were like I killed them and I've been putting Vaseline on them like for like days.
Yeah, for those of you who haven't seen Joey's episode on One Battle After Another locations at Borrego Springs, highly suggest you check it out. He really geeked out on the locations.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, the original idea was to also bring in more about VistaVision. It didn't pan out of that video, but I'm hoping to do that in a future video. I'm still also really looking for the hills. So also if you know where those hills are from One Battle After Another, please let me know because I'm still looking for it. And I've been on Google Maps Street View for a long time and cannot find. I need that guy who just looks at the image of like Street View and he's like, yeah, it's in Africa and here.
Oh yeah, that guy on YouTube that could literally spot anything. No, just give it to ChatGPT research.
I've tried that.
Okay.
It gave me guesses, but it didn't actually give me the thing. All right. So actually, before we jump into it, one mention of an event coming up. This is Monday. We're putting this out Tuesday. So later this week, first week of October, Thursday, Friday is Infinity Fest, which is a cool kind of AI meets tech event. I know they've done it a few years. I haven't gone before. Have you gone?
I've been to many of those. I love the team that does it, Mark Lieber, Eric Weaver, and them. Yeah. So this Thursday, Friday is the event. I'm moderating a panel on Friday on AI innovations in virtual production. Nice.
We're going to be talking a lot about Gaussian splats too. Paul Debovic
is on your panel?
Is going to be on the panel, yes.
Oh yeah, he's the godfather, man. That's cool.
I know. Yeah. And Fernando from Volinga, where we did a long interview about their work with Gaussian Splats and ACES color management, and a bunch of other cool people are going to be on the panel. And there's a bunch of other awesome events and panels going on the entire time. So if you're in LA, come check it out. If you use code IF2520, you can get 20% off. And hit me up if you're going to be there.
Nice. I'll be there. I'll see you there.
Yeah, I'll see you there. Day one's at the Academy Museum, which I'm also excited to check out because I have not been there yet. And then day two's at Sony.
It's a very swanky space. I love that space, yeah.
The Academy Museum?
Mm-hmm. It's right next to the tar pits, I believe.
I know, yeah. I've seen it. I've seen the building. I've just never actually been into it. Okay, first story. More Sora updates because, we got to talk about Sora. It's a never-ending stream of updates. So in our last episode, I think the big thing we talked about was like not only was it the new model, it was the app, but the big thing was they took everyone's IP and basically said, we're going to use your IP, but if you don't want us to use it, you let us know and you have to manually opt out of every single individual IP. Unsurprisingly, that pissed off a lot of people. So they've reversed course and now they're basically flipping it and saying, okay, it's going to be an opt-in model. If you want to make your IP available to users on the Sora app or in the Sora model, you can opt in. But as we said before, it's like it already knows everything. So it's already trained on everything. It's just a matter of the guardrails and the permission of what it lets users
it just put an additional pie crust. And the pie crust has holes it controls to let the steam out, if you will.
When we were talking about this last week, I forgot to mention something I thought of. Ed Olbrich, who is now at Moon Valley, at TIFF, he was on a panel about AI and media entertainment. And their approach and what they were talking about with the concerns of like IP, other people's IP leaking into your generations was like their model, they just don't even train on IP characters at all. So it's like if you ask the model, like make a Batman or make a Superman or something, it's just like it just doesn't know because it's not trained on it, which is like a obviously different approach from Sora and the other models where it was trained on it, and that's just a matter of putting in those guardrails in the text encoder to prevent people from
that's
using it, but the model knows, and they're like, our model just doesn't know, so like there's no way it could actually
it's kind of
make any IP
foolproof. It's sort of the ethical way to do it, the right way to do it. I would say the way OpenAI did it, where they just trained on everything, is that even when you train on IP data and don't show it, that still benefits the model because it just has a better understanding of superheroes, for example. So if you're trying to build your own superhero, it's trained on all the Marvel superheroes, but it won't show you the Marvel ones, but it has a good understanding of what a superhero cape is, what, you know, chrome-plated armor looks like, and so on.
Yeah. The other thing in Sam Altman's update post was they're going to look at, obviously, ways to monetize this and some sort of rev share arrangement with IP copyright holders. So that would be interesting, and sort of kind of what we talked about last week too, where it's like, what if it was flipped and it was like, oh, if you're a company with IP and you want to make, you know, as a marketing ploy, you want people to be able to generate videos with characters from your IP, that's a platform. But also it's like, okay, well, what if you make your characters available and people use it, and then there's some sort of rev share every time your character's cameo is used in someone's prompt?
Yeah, I would say like,
you know, it's kind of like a YouTube model.
There's maybe two ways to see this. One, the precious IP from film and television. I don't think those guys are looking to open it up to everybody to then just let them go ham, if you will, right? On the other hand, the IP that belongs to brands, specifically, like if you think about Tony the Tiger and Kellogg's and Snap, Crackle, and Pop and all those like characters that we know and love, I think for them, it's free marketing, free advertising. So why not just open it up, right? Mm-hmm. But on the film and TV side, you know, the generations will probably never look as good as what the movie looks like, and it'll look off, and it'll obviously do things that you don't want the Mandalorian to do or whatnot. So they're much more protected, and I think more conservative in that sense. But on the brand and agency side, I think they'll turn it on.
Yeah, I mean, I think if your central product is not media and entertainment, so like the Tony the Tiger, it's like they're trying to sell cereal. Yeah. So like if you want to freely put Tony the Tiger in your videos and push Tony the Tiger out, and it's just in more people's mind awareness, that ultimately helps their goal of like just being more top of mind and driving more cereal sales.
Exactly.
They're not trying to sell Tony the Tiger like characters. But yeah, if it's the Mandalorian or whatever, I could see it as more of you're doing a promotion. You're promoting whatever K-pop Demon Hunters, or you're promoting Inside Out or
Wednesday
some other
Addams
thing, and it's like Wednesday Addams, right? And it's like, oh hey, like why don't I put myself in the Wednesday school, or a video with Wednesday, or a video with like me fighting Reacher, to reuse all of the examples that I did last week.
Those examples you have, save them, because you're probably not going to be able to generate them again.
Yeah, I haven't rerun the prompts, but I'm going to guess that I can't rerun any of those prompts. Even last week, I was like, hey, I made a prompt once with the characters, and then I tried to do it again, and it kept blocking me and saying that it infringed, or that it was blocked for IP reasons. Yeah, I mean, I think in the user end, I don't think they really are expecting or need that high quality of an output for it to look photorealistic. It's like, these are, you know, we said these were like UGC sort of type videos. And so if it includes a Mandalorian that like isn't going to look like as photorealistic and high quality as you would see in the actual TV show, but it's just like, hey, I want to like, you know, walk around Mos Eisley with Mando and Star Wars gear, like, cool, like it's a fun little video that I can like post on my feed or share with my friends.
It degrades the IP and the sort of the protection around the IP. I don't think, like, even if you do rev share and monetize on Sora, I don't think like a Disney will ever turn on the Mandalorian on Sora.
No, maybe if the quality gets better, or if they make their own version. Right. But well, I mean, where do you see what do you think the quality bar level is for a company that would?
Yeah, I don't think it's visual quality on Sora per se. Like, of course, if you draw sort of a linear line, 6 months, a year from now, the quality is going to be, you know, way better, probably as good as anything that we're seeing on screen today. It's not going to be that fight. I think at the end of the day, it's creative control. Like, for example, in the Star Wars universe, and I worked on Star Wars stuff in the past, in my past life, and there's like certain rules, like, oh, you never put 2 stormtroopers next to this canister, or, you know, the X-Wing is never placed next to this one because they're not from the same era. And there's like all these rules that the IP has to follow in order for it to be accurate to the lore. And it's going to be really difficult to reinforce not just the usage of IP, but the usage of IP context. Right. So
yeah, I mean, but I still think this is like a different universe. Like, I don't think anyone's expecting, if they're using Sora as like a marketing to promote the new Mandalorian movie, that every output needs to adhere to Star Wars canon. Like, it's, I mean, also look, I mean, Star Wars, they license their characters. Well, I mean, they also partly own it, but they license their characters to Fortnite as do tons of other characters. And like they do crazy dances and they do things that fit in the Fortnite universe. They do not make any sense in the Star Wars universe, like, Vader hip hop dancing or whatever.
And those are really well controlled deployments of that IP, right? Like the Fortnite artists build certain dance moves. It probably goes back to Lucasfilm. They have to approve it. Then it comes back and it's only used in, 10 different ways versus like millions of ways you can skin the cat on Sora.
Right. I mean, I think, the guardrail not only of like what character they could use, but they would want the guardrails of just like what can you make this character do and not do? Like, obviously, not doing super inappropriate.
Yeah, I guess it goes back to what you're seeing on social media today. Like, if you open up traditional, conventional TikTok without AI, how much of it is like repurposing Disney IP or, Warner Brothers IP? Very little.
No, I mean, I think what I see more of on TikTok is like fan recreations of moments from movies that are, poking fun or making fun of it or just like reciting lines, but they're just doing like, the worst, cheesiest cosplay ever, but it just makes it really funny. And just like if it looked photorealistic or something, it wouldn't be as funny. It's funny because it's like someone in their living room reenacting a scene from like Star Wars or from like some other TV show. And that makes it funnier. And it turns into like commentary and a meme about the show and something that everyone can connect on who's watching the show because you're like reliving that moment because you all watched and experienced the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you were in your living room and you like could add a real Darth Vader next to you that you could like talk to and have a sketch with, I mean, a lot of this stuff only really works if it's a joke, if you're making fun of it. Like if you're trying to be serious and make like an actual Star Wars fan fiction film that feels real, doesn't really play off.
There's other AI tools for that.
Most of the stuff
and
is just
ones that will do the IP no problem, especially the Chinese models.
Right. Yeah, a lot of stuff is more just like in the joking realm, in the joking category. Sure. Like it works as a meme. I'm curious, though, who has opted in, because we haven't seen anyone that has opted in. Like when this came out last week, there were, also, was it William Morris or one of the big agencies or Creative Arts was like, none of all of our clients are opting out. We're like we're like using AI to turbo opt everyone out. So now with this sort of flip side, where it's like, okay, everyone's opted out. Who wants to opt in? We don't know anyone that's opted in yet.
It's I like, I'm not going first. No, you go. No, I'm not doing that. It's going to be one of those things.
Yeah, until someone big is just like, F it, fine. You're like, I'll do it. Sure, anyone could use my likeness, which also might, I think, might tie into our next story.
Well, but as we go into that, did you see that Jake Paul shared his likeness for anybody to use?
No, I did not. That makes sense for him because it's like Jake Paul is like the brand, and it's like, he wants the Jake Paul brand to be everywhere, which then helps him leverage all the other stuff he's pushing, like if he's doing a fight or if he's trying to sell more Prime Energy drink or like all the other stuff that he's involved in. So it's like, and he literally like makes millions like getting beat up by other fighters. So if he wants to virtually do that to help the Jake Paul brand, that makes sense. Like 100% makes sense for Jake Paul to just be like, do whatever you want to me. At least I'm going to stay top of mind.
It's free advertising for him. Again, it's just like a brand. I mean, if you think of Jake Paul as his own brand, it's just, people are making content without me paying for it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, it's like I just want my face to be out there more. People do it people will spend their time to put it out for me. Awesome, great. Sounds like a win.
All right, I got a video to share with you. I'm going to send it to you here. If you want to throw it up on the screen. Yeah, baby.
Nice hairdo you got there.
I just I've been having a lot of fun with Sora. I think you have too. We share videos like this all the time. And I was watching Casey Neistat's YouTube video on Sora. Do you know who? I'm sure you know who he is, right? Okay.
I know who Casey Neistat is, but what did he? I didn't see a Sora video.
So he, I mean, look, most YouTube creators, most content creators are having that existential crisis, just like a lot of other people are.
Yeah, I saw MrBeast had a tweet about it.
Like, are we even needed anymore? So his whole take was, during like the time before the 1980s and previously before that, content creation was incredibly expensive, difficult. You needed gear, you needed crew, right? And then from the time YouTube was invented to like a couple years ago, things just became substantially easier, right? Like all you needed was a phone and a connection to the internet because YouTube took care of the distribution. So like he sort of made the metaphor of a funnel, right? Like as the funnel got bigger, the actual amount of good content at the end of that funnel also got bigger. Right, because the overall sort of volume of content got bigger in the world. So his argument, and he kind of leaves us hanging, is like, okay, so now that Sora, you could literally do anything. You don't even need gear for it. You don't need a camera. You don't even need people. And you can make anything you want. So obviously the volume of content is going to exponentially increase. But does that actually mean we're going to have more good content? And he kind of leaves at that train of thought.
Yeah, I've said this before when, because it feels like another version of the digital revolution when, what he's talking about, like when things went from like, okay, you either had to shoot film or then you could kind of shoot video to digital cameras and DSLRs. And then it became so much easier to shoot stuff that looked really good without spending a bunch of money. And there definitely was just a lot more noise. And people who, had good things to say or stories to say weren't able to make them. But there's also like just a lot more junky noise in that stuff. And so I think it's just going to be the same, where it's like, yes, there will be an enabling of people to make things that they wouldn't have been able to make before, probably a lot more genre stuff that just would have been impossible or cost prohibitive to do. But there's also going to be just so much more.
Yeah. Also, as I'm no content creator, or at least not like a TikTok type content creator, but as I was making more and more videos, you get over the initial hump of how amazing this is, right? Because you make a few, you're like, oh my God, that turned out great, or like, oh, this and that, right? And we went through that phase for a few days, I think. And then you realize, wait a minute, what am I actually trying to do here? Like, because people are liking my videos, the stuff that I post. So how can I get a consistent stream of likes? And in order to do that, what is my narrative? What is my story? What is my brand? And it's the same type of things you have to define yourself on YouTube or TikTok or whatnot. Yeah,
it's the same. Yeah, we were talking about this in past episodes where it's like it's still going to come down to like building up a brand, building up a core identity, building up an audience around your stuff. The same techniques and strategy is if we're doing it now, in person. I still think even with this MrBeast post of like, when AI videos are just as good as normal videos, I wonder what that will do to YouTube and how it will impact the millions of creators currently making content for a living. Scary times. I still think if you're going the faceless channel route and you're just like behind the scenes kind of person who's like making videos that don't have an identity, I think they're at threat of like, sure, AI can just spit that out a lot faster and cheaper. But I think if you're MrBeast or you're MKBHD or you're Casey Neistat or any of the way smaller creators, that have your face in front of it and have people can identify with you, I think that's still going to be the moat in the future to stand out and have uniqueness, because it's like, oh, you are an actual person that people like know exists and can see and identify with. However you make the videos. And that could also maybe be hybrid of like a person who is also a creator, like a human who like talks about all the AI videos they create. So maybe that's also a hybrid too, where there's a handful of them on X where they are AI creators, but they also are a persona on X that talks about their process in making AI stuff. But I still think ultimately it's going to come back to the person.
In that same train of thought, though, then Sora as it exists today is kind of useless, because to get to any level of creativity beyond the initial amazement, you don't have enough controls, and some of the things kind of fall apart very easily.
I think it's good for rapid iteration, and I think it's good for memes and jokes. And I think if you're a brand, I think it'd probably be good for marketing, where you could just spin up videos really fast. Maybe not specifically for your product, but like if you could spin up videos really fast and just capitalize on jokes and then just move on. Like the rate of how fast you can make things means that you should just be rapidly iterating and publishing and just moving on. There was, I forgot, one of the X creators that posts a lot and does like a lot of branded content. They were saying it's like the kind of like the shooting and the editing roles are basically automated in 2 seconds with Sora. The need is going to be for directors and writers, like people that can write the concepts, create the concepts, the jokes, the punchlines, and then the director that can write the script and visually direct what Sora should do, and then everything else Sora handles. I can kind of see that for some use cases, like more in the marketing use cases or more in the brand use cases where you want to be part of the online conversation. I still think that's a big leap for longer storytelling, episodic storytelling, like that kind of stuff.
I hear you on that. I hear you on needing directors and writers when you have sort of the production side of things automated and ready to go. But then some people are trying to do the entire thing, right? They're trying to make the whole sausage with AI. Obviously the wrong approach, but it's being done. So Variety has an article here. There's a movie that was completely made by a quote unquote AI agent. And it's called The Sweet Idleness. And we're going to show you the trailer here. I mean, judge for yourself. To me, this is not something I would spend any of my time watching. Just not yet. It's just, it feels very AI sloppy. But again, this is, no matter how much you kind of calibrate yourself back to needing a human, I feel like there is always an outlier group that are just going to try to automate the entire thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't think this is a counterpoint to what I'm saying. What I'm saying with the automating, the human in the loop is the writer and director. The use case I'm talking about is like purely short form, vertical content, web-based, trying to just make something kind of funny and viral. And you're doing it in like a day, and then it publishes and maybe gets a couple days of attention or laughs, and then you move on to the next thing. And you're like churning out jokes every day. Yeah, I think for horizontal videos that are longer form, it's still, what am I even watching now? What is this? Is this an ad or?
Yeah, it went into an ad. The trailer's only like 10 seconds.
What the hell is it? But what kind of ad is this? For Kling AI? Of a baby's face being squished? What the hell was that? What ad is that, Kling?
Isn't that ironic that Kling is paying for advertising on Variety?
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing this is
okay. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing. Like Google AdSense or whatever. Oh, yeah. Longer form videos. Yeah, I think, that's still, we're looking at AI as a tool with a team of human creative people that need to shape this and make it actually interesting and watchable and usable or viewable.
Yeah, jury is out. I mean, Joey, some days I feel so optimistic about AI augmenting VFX and kind of helping Hollywood. And then some days I'm so pessimistic about the whole thing. I'm like, this is just not going to end well. So I don't know.
I think this is one part of a combo of just the way things were shifting anyways, where it's like, it's just not going to be the same level of production 10, 20 years ago, period. But that's not like specifically an AI thing. That's also just like a way of like how viewing habits have changed between whether it's YouTube or TikTok or, short form video and a whole variety of reasons and viewing habits that's way outside of like anything to do with AI.
Absolutely.
Okay. Speaking of big budget creators using AI.
Perhaps the biggest budget creator.
So supposedly Taylor Swift uses some AI generated videos to promote her new album. This one, I mean, look, it looks pretty sharp. It's looks like a speakeasy kind of bar.
That is so VO3. It's just the shallow depth of field gives it away. Like natural lenses aren't that soft. The fall off is not that crazy.
Yeah, it looks all right. The one you said, I didn't, and this was definitely from a Taylor Swift thing. This was someone I think someone ripped this video.
That's a Taylor Swift album promo. Yeah. So I think there was a YouTube link for this, and the YouTube link is gone. So now it's just on X, living on X.
So this was initially posted.
Yeah, I believe so.
We believe by on Taylor Swift's official channels. And yeah, this is just sort of like some random shots in a garden.
Yeah, it's not maybe one of the older video generation tools. It's to me, it feels like VO3 or Kling 2.5 or some of the newer ones. Like the quality is there, but it still is soft. It still is a little too generic and lacks, particular style. So, and it has audio as well. So I'm guessing it's VO3.
There was some backlash, correct?
Yeah. So the backlash is around the fact that she's such a successful artist with billions of dollars. Why not hire real people to do her promos, right? Why are you skimping on budget when you have so much money? I think that's primarily where the backlash comes from.
Right, the biggest
and
artist.
She's also all about sort of protecting artist rights and copyright. And she's been a big advocate for, protecting the artist's IP.
Yeah, and the stuff we showed, none of it was really that complicated. It all looked like you could relatively, hire a Blender artist and make this in a few days.
Yeah, some kid right out of college will knock this out of the park, in Blender or in Unreal.
So yeah, it's like, why use AI for this? Because I was trying to think, okay, on the flip side, where would it make sense to use AI? And I think going back to what we were talking about before, something where you're trying to do tons of ideas at scale, something personalized, even going back to the Sora and Cameo stuff. Yeah, something where you're just trying to do a bunch of ideas at scale super fast. AI would kind of fit that. If it's part of some, I don't even know, narrative, some bigger point or story or marketing push. These one-off videos don't make a lot of sense, especially when you have
you know what I'm guessing happened is one of our creative directors was running VO3 on their laptop, showed it to Taylor. She's like, I love it, put it out there. It's like, are you sure? Yeah, put it out there. And it was just like rapid.
That, or she didn't even know, and it's like it was like subcontracted to subcontractor, right. And it's like, we need to make these videos, and someone made the videos, and then it was like, okay, yep, videos look good, and it wasn't like anyone checked on how they were actually made.
The thing that I'm seeing a lot, like a recurring theme, seems to be that with most productions, as you know, you're up against the clock. You have 2 days to put out this thing. The album's coming out next week or whatnot. And you don't have enough time to hire somebody, make the thing, render it, cut it. So this is where they're taking a shortcut.
Yeah, if they were up against a tight deadline to get something out. Sort of. I mean, none of these were that complicated. And so, like, I'm thinking, like, because, look, on the AI flip side, the environments and the scenes were pretty consistent. So, like, it's not like, oh, you press a button and it's done. Like, it does take a lot of work and trial and error to prompt and get the image and then create all of your angles and have the same consistent space. So that takes work. And so but it seems like it would have probably taken roughly about the same amount of work, assuming you're not starting from scratch for the 3D model stuff and you could use some pre-built models.
Like the first example that you showed with the vintage bar, that's Bryn's bar at Moon Valley, right? Like, you can just take a camera, an iPhone down there and just do that in 10 minutes. Like, that's a very simple one-shot take.
I mean, this has a, quote, actor hand and stuff, but none of this was like that complicated that it... Yeah, to make this an AI would roughly take the same time as doing it for real.
Yeah, especially now with, the Nikon cameras and the FX3s, like, you have access to such high-level cameras for so cheap. Like, there's no excuse to not just go out there and shoot this thing.
Now, I'm also thinking on the flip side, what if she's like, yeah, it's AI, we're going full in. It would take someone like that to just kind of, if she was just like, yeah, we're just doing AI, some big artist like that would be a huge, like, pivotal moment for AI adoption, where it's just like, oh, well, Taylor Swift is doing it and putting it out and her fans don't care that it's AI. That would be a big, like, floodgate opening of other people feeling like, oh, all right, I guess we're doing all our music videos AI now, like, because it's cool.
Yeah, so there is already a group of her fans called Swifties Against AI. Like, there's already a coalition forming around sort of banning this stuff.
Are they making Sora videos protesting against?
I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan, but there's millions and millions of them. And you don't want to go against that wave of people that are so passionate about her music and the world that she's essentially created.
Yeah. Well, it didn't really seem to have any effect on the box office, because her release film, which was released in theaters, was the number 1 film in theaters by far.
Yeah. On the one that's on Disney Plus now. Yeah.
No, not the concert film. They released. There was like I don't even know what it is. It was like a music videos from the new album that was released with some behind the scenes stuff cut together into like a 90-minute bundle that was released in theaters, theatrically released, and it made like $30 million in the box office.
Wow. Yeah, I know when like Target has exclusive rights to her physical copy of her album, and like the day that it drops, Target's going to see like Prime Day level activity on their stores.
Yeah. Wasn't that the thing where they had the book and people are going crazy over the book?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, The Singers, The Official Release Party of a Showgirl was the name of the film. Came in at number 1.
Oh, gotcha.
At the North American box office this weekend with $33 million.
That's
cool. Number 2 was One Battle After Another. And then number 3 was The Smashing Machine.
An artist of global scale, like a Bad Bunny or a Taylor Swift, like it's so cool to still see that, because it's such a relic of the era that we grew up in, right?
Oh, like a superstar
Jackson and just all the big artists like Rolling Stones or whatnot. There's just too far and few in between them.
Britney Spears, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of the last one of the last from
It's like a dying
Beyonce and other bands.
Yeah, pray to God Tilly Norwood doesn't get this big.
Oasis. You need to bring back a band from the 90s to
I think
fill out
Oasis is
concerts.
back, right?
They are back, yeah.
Yeah.
I know they're back because my wife is very excited about this and went to the concert.
Okay, yeah. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, they showed up again and were filling stadiums. But yeah,
Right.
you had to bring a band back from the 90s or early thousands to do that.
I'll just like do one little sort of, I know I hate to do these, but I love doing these. It's like, we didn't know how good we had it growing up in the 90s and the 2000s because we just thought things were just going to get better and better and better.
Right.
It's like, oh yeah, concerts, these are going to be around for a while. Movies are going to be around forever. And we just didn't know at the time, and we didn't appreciate them as much as we needed to.
We didn't know that Carson Daly was like the peak of pop culture civilization.
Yeah, he's a news anchor now, like a proper news anchor.
No, man, he's the host of shit. What's the show called?
Yeah, I saw him in like a suit. He's a suit now.
What was the MTV show called?
Total Request Live, TRL.
TRL, Total Request Live. God,
Yeah.
See, it's sad I even forgot that. I used to watch that after school every day.
It was live. That was a big deal. The fact that it was live.
Yeah, it was also a big deal when MTV played stuff besides ridiculousness episodes.
Yep.
Okay, last one. We talked a while ago, the Jony Ive jumping over to OpenAI, and they were working on a device, some AI device, and we didn't quite know what that was, and there were a lot of guesses. So there's a new article in Financial Times that has some more info on the device. Multiple people familiar with the plan said OpenAI and Ive were working on a device roughly the size of a smartphone that users would communicate with through a camera, microphone, and speaker. One person suggested it might have multiple cameras. The gadget is designed to sit on a desk or table, but can also be carried around by the user.
Interesting.
Weird.
So I'm picturing like a puck that you put in your pocket, then you put it on the table when you're at a meeting, put it back in your pocket. That
guess.
seems clunky.
I mean, right. I'm surprised it's like kind of a smartphone-sized device because I didn't really think this could work if it's anything but way smaller than a smartphone. Like, I don't think what they're building could replace a smartphone, at least anytime soon. So I think was expecting like something more wearable. This doesn't sound wearable.
Yeah, and it sounds like a privacy nightmare on top of that with just multiple cameras and mics and just going off 24/7.
Yeah, because the other thing too, it says one person said the device would be always on rather than triggered by a word or prompt. So the device's sensors would gather data throughout the day that would help build its virtual assistant memory. I mean, yeah, it sounds like, I don't know if you've seen the recent post on Friend, that necklace device that is the AI device that's also like always on. Yep. The use case is a bit confusing / weird, where it's like your AI friend that sends you like text updates of like, hey, how's it going? But that thing's like also like always listening to everything that's happening to you throughout the day. And I don't think a lot of people like that.
No, I don't. Yeah, that's going to be a big pushback. Also, it's just a big training data play for OpenAI, right? Like they just want to grab all the image, video, everything.
That is a very good point. Right.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll just turn you. I mean, and with that point, they should just give us away for free. Like
they probably it's like the HP printer thing, right? Like the printers are $99, but then the ink is like $300.
Or it's just like the real world version of Facebook and the Facebook ad feed, where it's like, here, Facebook, it's free. All of our products are free. Google, it's all free because
you are the product.
We want your data to turn you into the product.
Exactly.
So this might be the real world example, the real world product of that.
I mean, it just kind of like if you look at what is happening now with law enforcement and Ring cameras, because everybody pretty much has a doorbell camera in front of their houses, apartments, and like criminal activity is more or less recorded all the time. Because there's just cameras blanketing everywhere. And I think Amazon in the past has had given access to all of that footage to law enforcement. So whether you like it or not, the camera that's on your door is going to be used for law enforcement.
Same with Waymo. I mean, there's an interview. I mean, all these companies, it's like they record, the data goes to their server, so they have control of it. And then if law enforcement issues a subpoena for that data, they have to lawfully comply. I mean, I've heard in interviews, this was specifically about Waymo, because obviously Waymos are like a car driving with like a million cameras around it, so it captures all sorts of random stuff. And I think, as the CEO of Waymo I remember they said something like, yeah, they get requests all the time, but like they also push back if the requests are too broad, like if they're asking for like tons of data and like footage. So like they do push back to narrow their scope of what they're asking for. But obviously that's up to every company. But yeah, you should assume, any camera can be subpoenaed if like there's
for sure. I mean, it's such a slippery slope with, just having eyes and ears everywhere. A device like this is just going to give people the ickies.
This was a similar thing specifically with like OpenAI and the other chat interfaces. Like like a month or two ago, there was another article too where it's like the records, they're not protected, and people that treat them as a therapist, where like the actual therapists there's more privilege there with like what they are and aren't allowed to say. But the chat records, they're saved, and they can be like similar to your Google search history. They can be subpoenaed as well, like if there's reason to.
Okay, the last thing I'll say about this is, my God, the compute costs for something like this.
Yeah, I was going to highlight this in the article, and actually that's one of the issues, because apparently the part of the story is like they have more information about the device, maybe, but then also that they're having tech issues with making it, and it might be delayed to try to hit their goal of next year.
Just be an app, the app is great. Just be an app on an iPhone.
Well, I think that's the same issue, because I think they want it to run locally. These include deciding on the assistant's personality, privacy issues, and budgeting for the computing power needed to run OpenAI as models on a mass consumer device. Computer is another huge factor for the delay, said one person close to Ive. Amazon has the compute for an Alexa, so does Google, but OpenAI is struggling to get enough compute for ChatGPT, let alone an AI device. They need to fix that, end quote.
Yeah, it's high. Look, Jony Ive's he's been winning ever since he joined Apple, right? Like, I don't think he ever released a product that was less than stellar. Having said that, this is such an uphill battle for him. And, it's just like, I don't see anything like this succeeding in the near future.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, also we're getting bits and pieces of what the vision for this is. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think to what you're saying, like an app sort of does make more sense. And yeah, we've been seeing Apple lay the groundwork for having that compute on device so that stuff can just run locally. Because with stuff like this, it's like if you have to wait for something to go up to the cloud and process and come back, right, that delay is just a killer.
And I think we talked about this also with the Meta Ray-Bans that just came out. It's like the problem is not that the device is not great. It's actually fantastic, right, from the initial reviews and, just you and I's experience with it. The problem is, do people want to wear glasses? Or do people want to carry around another hardware device? Like, that is the problem at its core. So they're going to run up against, like, hey, I already have a smartphone in my pocket. Do I want to put this puck with a million cameras in my other pocket too?
Yeah, I think that's why I was expecting. I mean, there's a limited amount of things people will wear. Apple's done a good job also like owning the wrist. We've seen rings with some success.
Yep.
You have two arms, a lot of people. So like, you could something on your other wrist, but like Whoop and those other companies have taken over on other wrists. So yeah, those seem to be the most logical places to if you're doing something wearable. And unless you get like cargo pants and you want to have a phone and then another AI device, that seems like a big
Joe, a big ask. Cargo pants. I just picture you in Borrego Springs, just putting this puck in the desert, and it just fries up in like 10 seconds.
Tell me where the road is. Where are the hills? Where are the hills? Find it.
You're
absolutely right.
I can't tell you that.
I'm sorry. You're absolutely right. It's Claude, not OpenAI. Yeah, I mean, look, we're getting bits and pieces. I wouldn't write Jony Ive off, obviously, but I'm still perplexed by this, because to build a hardware thing that it's why and what's it gonna do that my phone is going to be way better than anything else, or drastically change how I interact with technology and computers.
I agree with you.
Since we're on the subject of iPhone and stuff, I didn't mention, because I texted you this, but we talked about the iPhone release and the Apple AirPod 3, and the feature with that was that it could do the live speech translation. There was I don't know if you got the update yet either, but I got a surprise update because I have the AirPods 2, and then something updated, and then it said, oh, hey, you could do live translation with the AirPods 2. So
yeah, I have the same generation. No, I didn't get the update, and I was hella jealous when you got it.
Did you update your iOS to the new one?
Let me check. What version are you on now?
Did your time on your phone change to really big numbers?
No. I'm on 18.6. Is it out maybe up to 19 now?
Wait, my iOS is 26. What are you on, 19?
Whoa, what? Your iOS is on 26?
There's no way you're on iOS 19.
I'm on 18.6.2.
If you go to settings, general, about.
Yeah.
iOS version.
Yeah, dude.
Wait, you're on iOS 18?
Holy shit.
How is that possible?
This is not good. Joey, I'm on the air. You're going to embarrass me like this? This is terrible.
Wait, I gotta post
I texted it to you. Check your text.
I gotta post the video that I made on Sora of you being arrested for
yes, exactly.
for mislabeling AI models.
See, now that's good viral content right there, boy.
How is this possible? You're on an iPhone? You're on a newer iPhone than me. How did they even let you install that? I'm so confused.
Oh my god, this is not good. And I have automatic updates on.
That doesn't make sense. Well, go to your updates and see what it tells you. Go to software update.
Oh, okay. Upgrade to iOS 20. Did they go from like 19 to 26? Did they skip a bunch of?
I don't know. I don't think so.
All right. Don't call me for the next hour. It's updating.
Did you get your iPhone on like Temu? Like, where'd you get your new phone from?
Yeah, you know me and my shady ways. Yes.
It fell off the back of a truck.
Oh, no.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for listening to the Noised and Addy iPhone tech support episode.
All right. So the last Sora 2 video, we had some comments. We want to thank some of our viewers, Samuel F. Film Productions and Logan Brown. Thank you for your comments, amongst many others. We really appreciate all of your support.
Yeah, thank you. And links to everything we talked about, as usual, at denoisepodcast.com or down in the show notes. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next episode.